If you're really into shadow work and you really get into that understanding who you are and learning who you are and those parts of yourself that you've rejected and how to integrate them with, again, the positive parts of who you are, you can really get your teeth into the shadow work. But there comes a point where you will meet with resistance to moving forward. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. Hi, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com, and if you're new to this channel and you want to become a witch or a Wiccan, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. Shadow work is a really important part of the craft because it's know thyself. It is your entry into understanding who you are. It's your entry into removing any blocks that you have to moving forward with your life path. And I know for so many witches and Wiccans out there that a lot of you have awesome gifts that you want to bring to the world. There's a lot of healers out there, and there's also a lot of resistance to bringing that out into the world. And the shadow work is a really important process to go through in order to be able to bring this up and out into the world. We have past life stuff going on, persecution complexes. We've also got persecution aspects even in our current life because it's only been very recently that people can feel safe about coming out about being a witch or a Wiccan, and in many places it's still not safe to do that. Even in the West, there's country towns and pockets in countries where there's so much conservative religious ideology that you just can't feel safe about coming out about who and what you are. But it is getting a bit easier, which is kind of good. What you'll find when you're doing your shadow work is that you'll get to a point with it, or maybe even at the beginning, but generally you'll be doing some shadow work. You'll be doing the inner work, you'll be doing lots of different healing practices on yourself and various different modalities, various different techniques. And you'll come to a point where you hit a brick wall and you feel this absolute resistance. It's like, it's so thick, this brick wall, so it may seem like a brick wall to you. For some people it may seem like you're in some kind of membrane that you can't break out of. Some people feel like they're in a hard shell that they can't break out of. No matter what they do, they can't get out of the shell. So it depends on how it feels to you, how you might describe this resistance. It's generally got some kind of a texture to it or some kind of weight to it if you think about the energy of it. Because what this resistance is essentially doing is trying to protect you from doing something that could be potentially dangerous in your ego's eyes. Now, remembering that your ego has been programmed to keep you safe, and it was programmed by you when you were a child and also added to as you went through life as an adult. So your ego's running a program that really needs to be updated. Okay, so it's running a program that you put into action between the ages of 1 and 7 years of age. So don't beat the ego up for building this membrane or this brick wall or this glass tower that you can't break out of. It's just trying to keep you safe. What you want to do is you just need to reprogram it and give it an update and say, hey, here's a new task. This is what we're going to do now. And the way that you work with the ego on this issue will determine how you can chip away at getting out of that membrane, out of that shell, or breaking through that brick wall. You will come up to a point where you will hit the resistance, and honestly, generally with everybody that I've ever worked with, the resistance is this. It's not safe for me to really be who I am. It's not safe for me to step into my power. I can feel my power, but I'm terrified of it. I'm too scared to step into my power because it's so powerful it scares me. These are the things people say, and this is also what I experienced as well. I could feel the power and it scared me. And that stops people often in their tracks from taking that next step forward. That will actually really help actually smash that wall, break through the egg-like shell, like a chicken, and break down whatever it is that you feel is actually stopping you. When you get to this point where you can see your power and feel your power and it terrifies you into total resistance and inactivity, then you just go, okay, this is where I'm at. And if I want to move forward, if I really, 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 really want to do what I feel I've come here to do and step into who I truly am, I'm going to have to do something that scares me. I'm going to have to do what scares me. Otherwise, I'm going to stay exactly where I am and I'm never going to move forward. I'm going to stay feeling the way I feel. I'm going to stay doing what I'm doing. My life's not going to change. And I'm probably not going to really enjoy myself. But in order to take this next step, it's going to be scary, and it will be scary. It's where you have to decide how brave you're going to be in taking this next step, because it is. I've felt it myself, and I know other people who come up against this brick wall, and a lot of people, most people, will back away. But if you are a witch, you're on the Wiccan path, the magical path, you're a pagan, you're a magician, whatever tradition you follow, if you really want to be a magician, a witch, if you really want to be a shaman, if you really want to work and be a magic worker and walk the magical path or the mystical path, you've got to have some courage, pluck up that courage, find at least something and go, okay, I'm going in. I'm going in, because the only way out of this is through. And honestly, once you make that decision to go, it's actually not that scary. It really isn't. You actually find it wasn't that scary at all. It's like when you think something's going to be really scary, and then you go and you do it, and it's like, oh, that wasn't that bad. It's exactly how it is. Because most people are afraid of, who will I be if I become this person? The truth is, you may think that you're going to be somebody else, but you actually aren't going to be somebody else. You're actually still going to be you. And you're still going to feel like you. But you're just going to feel like a happier you, a more peaceful you, a person who's feeling more purpose in their life, a person who's feeling more confident with themselves. That's the you you're going to be. So if you can imagine what it would be like to be confident, if you can imagine what it would be like to feel good and peaceful and joyful, if you can imagine what it'd be like to feel more compassionate, that's actually the you you're going to be. So if you think that the you that you're going to be is going to be scary, that's what you're scared of. You're scared of being more peaceful, you're scared of being more compassionate, you're scared of being more confident. That's actually what you're scared of, and those things really aren't something to be afraid of. But I get it. I understand that resistance. I totally do, because I've come up against it myself. And it's really just a matter of understanding, hey, here I am. This is where I've come. I've come to the brick wall. Woo, I've got this far. Awesome. Congratulate yourself. You got to the brick wall. Many people don't even get to the brick wall. So you're doing pretty well if you got to the brick wall. All you have to do now is decide, okay, now what I'm going to do about this brick wall. Am I going to go through, or am I going to stay back? And that's a decision that you are totally entitled to make, depending on where you're at and what you want to do. But believe me, the fear that you have of your power is a fear that you've been programmed to have, because when you were a child and you were standing in your power, you were squashed, you were crushed, okay? And for obvious reasons, I mean, you can't let kids get away with everything that they want. You do have to have boundaries with kids, for sure. And we do need those boundaries when we're children. It's more how the boundaries were constructed, or how the communication of those boundaries kind of happened for a lot of us, that really created the problem. So all you're doing is basically going back to when you came to this planet in the first place. When you were born, you had all of this power. It's just that you've locked it away. So the person you're going to be with the power is actually still the person who you are and who you've always been, underneath the mask that you show to the world, that you need to show to the world in order to feel safe in the world. Another big scary thing about stepping through that resistance is if I stand in my power and I become who I really know I could be, like I could really become that powerful, what are people going to say? They're going to judge me, they're going to criticize me, they're going to, some people may even get irate about the changes that they might see you do. Like if you actually go for that healing practice that you want to have, or do what it is that you're wanting to do with your life path, there are going to be people who are going to judge and criticize you for it. And the stronger that you are in yourself, the better you'll be able to deal with that. So a lot of the time, the fear of our power isn't just the fear of the power itself, because the power is really not that scary. It's what other people are going to say about it, because they're not standing in their power, and they're not going to really probably, a lot of them, some of them will support you, some of them will go, awesome, this is wonderful, and other people will fall away because they'll be threatened by it. And you've got to understand that. For any self-development, personal development, spiritual development, when you start breaking down the walls, you will find there are going to be people who come with you and there's going to be people who leave you. And you just need to understand and be prepared for that, because not everybody wants to go down that evolutionary path. A lot of people just want to stay where they are because it's just easier and it's too scary. So that's just why you may be meeting with resistance, and just for you to understand that there does come a point where you come up against this brick wall. It's also called a backlash. So you may find when you're doing this work that all of a sudden you'll get to a certain point with your inner work, and then you'll start doing all sorts of silly things to avoid continuing. So you might distract yourself with other activities, you know, like watching Netflix and all the time, or you know, going out and partying all the time, so that you're using this as a distraction to stop you from continuing the inner work. Just understand, hey, it's a backlash, I've hit a brick wall. Just understand that's what it is. And if you are at that point where you are ready to move forward to the next level, so you've done a certain amount of work on your own, you're ready to move through to the next level, and you know that you need some help and assistance doing it, I do offer a 30-minute clarity session to help you get clear on what is blocking you, and then we'll talk about how you can move forward through that block. So whether that's working with me or doing something else, we'll discuss that in the free clarity session. It goes for 30 minutes, and I'll put the link to my calendar so that you can do that with me over Zoom in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com. I'll see you on the next video. Blessed be.